But it is so important for everyone to know Donald Trump and his family and all of those in his immediate inner circle are pathological liars.
Following in his father's footsteps, Eric Trump recently shared a post containing false information on X, which led to criticism from social media users. This incident has fueled the perception that individuals associated with Trump tend to be habitual liars. Alan Spears, featured on Occupy Media, extensively refuted Trump and his son's claims.
It is amazing how often these people are caught in the middle of their lies and shown evidence to prove that they're lying, and yet still they continue. Take a look.
Thus, Eric Trump's dissemination of a deceptive video on Twitter highlights a consistent pattern of dishonesty within Donald Trump's camp and among his supporters. Eric Trump inaccurately asserted that a crowd had assembled to show support for his father while recording President Biden's motorcade. This instance of distortion mirrors a wider pattern of deceit frequently employed by Trump and his closest advisors. They frequently distort facts and manipulate images to align with their agenda, irrespective of the truth. Shedding light on these occurrences is vital for comprehending the extent to which they will fabricate a false perception of endorsement and affirmation. The continued use of these misleading tactics highlights the significance of scrutinizing their assertions and recognizing their track record of deceitfulness.
For us, there is a handy little feature on Twitter that lets us block people that we do not wish to see lies from, so maybe consider taking advantage of it.
As a response to these falsehoods, Eric's missteps sparked considerable backlash on social media. Users on Platform X swiftly denounced the dishonesty, underscoring the imperative for honesty and integrity within the Trump circle. A user criticized Eric Trump, stating, "You are pathetic and a liar." Not one of them is holding a Trump flag, chanting his name, or wearing a red KKK hat. This crowd is from President Biden's visit to NY in April. Another user highlighted the generic nature of New Yorkers' reactions to motorcades, remarking, "Ha ha ha, this is typical NY when they see someone in a motorcade. They do this no matter who it is. If they were really Trumpers, where are the hats and flags?" Eric, "You may fool those who do not live in NY," one user remarked. Another user ridiculed the Trump camp's inclination to manipulate reality, stating, "Posting the crowd from President Biden's visit to NYC in April and falsely claiming it's from today is exactly what Trump and maggots are all about. Lying is all they have. They live in a fantasy world." These responses underscore the public's exasperation with the ongoing dishonesty from the Trump family and their closest associates, emphasizing the importance of skepticism and fact-checking in political conversations. Building on this, here's another piece of advice when reading or listening to Trump or his supporter.
Make sure you always have a healthy dose of skepticism on hand, especially when it comes to Donald Trump and his family and anything they say or post online.
Remain vigilant. Eric Trump's penchant for exaggeration was once again evident when he claimed that 100,000 people attended his father, Donald Trump's, rally in New Jersey on May 11th. This assertion was widely mocked and discredited, with numerous individuals highlighting the implausibility and absurdity of the figure. Eric's comments were no exception. "They want to take my father down in New York. They want to do it civilly. They want to do it criminally. They want to do it in Georgia. They want to try to do it in Washington, D.C. They go to the farthest left areas of this country. They have radical prosecutors, all with one thing in common. They're all funded by Soros. Every single one. And they have a mission to go after Donald Trump because he's winning in every single poll." He further bragged about the turnout at rallies, asserting, "When you see Wildwood on Saturday, where he has 100,000 people show up, 100,000 people, I mean, Bruce Springsteen can't pull half of that amount." However, social media users and commentators swiftly exposed the inaccuracies. One user pointed out the disparity by mentioning Bruce Springsteen's concert in East Berlin in 1988, where he performed in front of a crowd of 300,000. Another highlighted the realistic crowd size, stating, "LOL, there were not 100K people at Trump's NJ rally, maybe 15K. A third individual simply stated, "There weren't 100K people there. Stop lying." Furthermore, in a recent interview, Donald Trump himself perpetuated the inflated figures by stating, "I think we're leading in New Jersey. We had a rally of over 100,000 people." A lot of the mainstream media didn't want to say how many people. Such instances demonstrate a consistent pattern of misinformation and underscore the importance of fact-checking political narratives. Eric Trump's tendency to highlight his father's alleged vitality was met with mockery, particularly in light of the former president's courtroom naps. Despite Donald Trump, age 77, dozing off during the hush money trial, Eric compared him to an energy bunny on Maria Bartiromo's Sunday Morning Future show.
Eric Trump went on with her to extol the virtues and convince Americans of the stamina of his father. What is it with these Nepo babies?
In a passionate defense, Eric depicted his father's relentless schedule, commending his resilience against what he deemed a biased judge and alleging profiteering. However, individuals wasted no time deconstructing Eric's depiction. One commenter remarked, "He cried the whole time about how hard it was to sit in court. He fell asleep repeatedly, complained how cold it was, constantly played golf last Sunday, played golf last Wednesday, played golf yesterday, and will play golf today." Maybe Trump can show us his stamina by running to the end of his driveway. Let's delve deeper into the ridicule. Another user highlighted that he fell asleep in the courtroom for 4 out of 5 days. Meanwhile, another commenter quipped, "He naps daily in court, and now visiting a bodega is considered an event." Eric Trump, in his alternate reality.
That is Donald Trump's age. Donald Trump's flaccidity as a human being. Donald Trump's falling asleep in court and whining about how cold it is in the courtroom.
Faced mockery after taking offense to a jest by MSNBC's Katie Tour on X, formerly Twitter, regarding his father. Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. While Eric has consistently attended the trial, his absence on Tuesday, when his brother Donald Trump Jr. made his first appearance, prompted Vang to joke, "Don Jr. is here today. I guess we know who lost the rock, paper, scissors battle."
In trial all day long, relentlessly being attacked by a corrupt judge, whose literally family is apparently profiting off of this whole thing, only to step out and go do events at bodegas and wake up and speak to union workers.
Eric strongly objected to Fang's remark, labeling it as cruel and nasty, and emphasizing what he saw as an attack on a son supporting his father during the trial. Critics promptly reminded Eric of the harsh rhetoric frequently employed by his family members. One person highlighted the irony of Eric's complaint, considering his family's track record of attacks, including his brother's podcast dedicated to criticizing others, and his father's infamous verbal assaults that once led a judge to issue a gag order. Another user mocked, "Wow, if this very mild joke feels cruel and nasty to you, Eric, you might want to steer clear of Twitter for the next 5 months." In a recent development, U.S. District Judge Burl Howell, who oversaw Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into Donald Trump's handling of classified records, expressed skepticism about how the former president could have overlooked highly sensitive documents discovered in his Florida bedroom, as disclosed in a newly unsealed ruling.
Unsealed court records show that 4 additional documents with classified markings were discovered in a closet in Trump's bedroom at Mar-a-Lago.
The ruling from March 2023 relates to documents found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach in December 2022. This discovery came after Trump's attorney claimed in June that there were no classified files at his residence. Later, in August, an FBI search revealed over 100 classified documents, some marked as secret and top secret. These documents emerged after Trump's lawyer, Timothy Parr, subsequently organized a sweep of Trump's properties to verify the absence of sensitive documents. Such records. Judge Howell's ruling underscored the lack of an explanation for how Trump could have overlooked the classified, marked documents found in his own Mar-a-Lago bedroom. Among the discoveries were an empty folder and another mostly empty folder labeled Classified Evening Summary. Furthermore, 4 other documents described as low-level ministerial documents were discovered during the sweep.
Essentially, the former president was using his attorney as a front man for a criminal endeavor, and that meant that these communications that he had that would otherwise be privileged would be revealed to the grand jury.
The unsealed version of Howell's decision reveals the rationale behind her ruling, which was made amidst Trump's attempts to dismiss the case. Scrutiny of Trump's legal counsel's actions was grounded in evidence indicating that Trump utilized his attorneys to obstruct the investigation into his retention of classified documents. Prosecutors contended that Trump's attorney's search for subpoenaed documents was insufficient due to misrepresentations from Trump himself. Howell observed the prosecution's depiction of a shell game, where documents were purportedly shifted to avoid detection during the search.
Of Walt Nauta on June 1st, 2022, moving boxes. This was right before Trump's lawyers were set to review documents in a storage room at Mar-a-Lago.
The prosecution effectively illustrated Trump's obstruction of the search by presenting evidence of deliberate concealment of additional classified documents. As per Howell, she asserted that this deception led to Trump inadvertently making false statements to the government. Trump is confronted with numerous felony charges in the case, encompassing willful retention of national defense information and obstruction of justice. Although he has pleaded not guilty and refuted any wrongdoing, the trial, initially scheduled for this week, has been indefinitely postponed due to ongoing legal challenges raised by U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon. Trump has pursued dismissal of the case, alleging prosecutorial misconduct. Recent events continue to unveil the Trump legacy characterized by persistent dishonesty and manipulation. Eric Trump's unfounded assertion regarding a crowd gathered for President Biden, falsely claimed as Trump supporters, and his inflated rally attendance figures exemplify a wider pattern of deception. Social media has erupted in backlash, showcasing public exasperation with the Trump family's continuous falsehoods and emphasizing the imperative for honesty in political discussion.
Timed his charges to create maximum political damage. The New York Times also reporting that in a separate motion, the defense asks the judge to exclude from evidence the more than 100 classified documents that were found during the search at Mar-a-Lago, as well as...
Furthermore, the unearthing of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago and subsequent efforts to obstruct justice further unveil the depth of their deceitful tactics. These occurrences emphasize the necessity of vigilance and factual verification in politics. Given the Trump family's consistent efforts to diminish transparency and accountability, Donald Trump and his inner circle's ongoing deceit and manipulative strategies serve as a clear reminder of the importance of vigilance and honesty in politics. It's crucial for the American public to stay critical and well-informed, rejecting misleading narratives and ensuring accountability for those in positions of power. Share your opinions in the comments section below regarding the deceptive behavior of Trump and his family. And remember to subscribe for the most recent updates on Trump's legal proceedings and political advancements.